hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty. I've got an eclectic bunch on Wednesday night. So we'll start off with Shortbangers semi-regular. Brian, how you doing?
Semi-regular. I am fine. You?
Aye, good. I was just you regularly get a semi. Better than anything else.
Struggle to raise an eyebrow these days, don't we? Fucking anything else.
Also got Kaiser Sauzee on. Kaiser, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good stuff. And Raymondo as well. Raymond, how you doing?
Good, mate. Cheers, mate. Good.
What forgotten on the background tonight?
Bilko.
Milko, happy days. It's quite hard to make it out for here. Right, well, we'll start off with some questions then. First one comes from John Marshall. And John, I apologise to you because every time you send us in a question, I forget to read it out. And so I'm going to go back to this one, which was pre-election. It said if Longbangers party was standing in the election, what would be the manifesto? And what cabinet minister positions would John and Brian be allocated, assuming that Matty is the first minister? Right. So what do you think would be on the Longbangers manifesto?
Free crisps.
Free air fryers for all.
Aye, that's to get air fryers on the go. That's to never mind your free dentistry and that. Get fucking air fryers.
Need to be back free in the air fryers, definitely.
Yeah.
Factual policies.
Ah, yes. No fibbing. Actual factual all the way.
No beer below 8%. Anything below 8% is to be considered as juice.
Given to bairns.
Given to bairns, but in such a way that it's obviously medicinal to get them off to sleep.
Aye. Do they, right, for the parents amongst us, did you ever have, were you in the era when Calpol had stuff in it to get bairns to sleep? Because I think I missed out on it. I think by the time I had kids, Calpol had been adapted where it didn't send them off to sleep, which is fucking devastating.
You mustn't have given them enough.
No, that's, I think my bairns are about similar ages to your own, and no, definitely, a couple works, definitely.
There was always stories for grandparents.
Certainly worked with a wee Glenkinchie in it.
Aye, with a wee bit of whiskey in the bottle or whatever, but I'm not a big whiskey fan, and whiskey makes me a bit kind of angry and that. I didn't really fancy having angry kids just in case, so I could never bothered with that, but I got them stoned quite a lot and that just chilled them out. So anyway, right. But Brian, what position in the cabinet would you take? That was the other part of the question.
Doggy.
Doggy.
I don't know. I don't even know anything about politics. It's all shite, isn't it?
Yes. I think John would be something to do with statistics, like in spreadsheets and that. So we'll put him on finance.
Aye. First minister of spreadsheets, just something boring and nerdy. I'd be the I don't know. I'd be the
What
minister
about medicine, Brian?
policy.
You could do the medicine.
Aye.
You'd be to administer and stuff.
Aye. Just drugs.
And then John's second question was, would the class of 2016, especially those no longer at the club, be secretly gutted their gala dinners may be impacted by the class of 2021? So will their noses be put out of joint if we win the cup again?
Cookies are fuck.
No.
I think there's a good enough chunk of the team still there that they're all going to be fucking delighted because they'll go into they'll be spewing at Lewis Stevenson because he'll go into 3, but they'll have 2. So
they'll maybe be one of the 300 that got a fucking ticket.
What a farce that is as well, by the way. The mental thing about it is they could have done they could have done 500 tickets without any kind of consultation. So they've gone through all that fucking faff for 50 tickets each for the clubs. What a piece of nonsense. So do you think they'll go out to sale, or do you think they're just going to give them away?
I'm not going.
They've got to give them to the players.
They might as well
Players-
fucking airdrop
players'
them
families.
a fucking 747.
Sort of a nonsense, eh? I kind of torn between because you have that, or I do anyway. You want to be there, right? I'm desperate to see a game of football, and you have that wee moment. I think, well, if they go for a ballot or something, get right in there. But imagine you got a ticket, you're on your own, none of your mates got one, or like if Josh never got one, or my old man never got one, and you're going sitting in fucking Hampden with nobody within a square mile of you, it'd be fucking pish.
You'd be sitting with your phone with YouTube on Sunshine on Beef 2016.
Try to get that atmosphere yourself.
So no.
Would
No, it would be shite. Who's going to sit in a big empty stadium, probably wearing a face mask, toilet to go to a boozer before or after? It'd just be shite anyway.
aye? Although I'd say there was mind the under-19s teams on the double. If you remember that way.
Aye.
So at that time, I wrote match
It
reports
was big.
for
Porto scored the winner, did they not?
who did? Curtis Burns scored the
Porto, I
winner.
think Porto scored the winner.
No.
All right, okay.
Before that, when
Porteous
they
had
done
scored.
when they done the double, so it was like Curtis Burn and Sean Welsh, that kind of year, Callum Booth, David Witherspoon, that bunch. So at the time, I did the match reports for the Hibs website for under-19s, and we were at the final. Me and a guy called Keith Reid, who does or used to do Hibs TV. I don't think he still is involved with him. And me and Keith were in the press box, and obviously it's under-19s final, so there's no a big crowd. It was fucking magic. Do you know, like you're in Hampden, tiny crowd comparatively. Hibs won pretty much last kick of the ball, almost against Rangers. Kind of wee prophecy of what was to come further down the line, and it was a great night. And then I kind of think about that and go, well, if you can enjoy that in a press box where you're literally no really around any fans, surely it'd be all right if you went and Hibs won it. The flip side is if we lost the cup final and you're in that fucking stadium on your own, that's got to be the saddest thing that ever happened to you.
And if see if you do a pitch invasion on your own, is that just streaking with your clothes on?
I wouldn't be keeping my clothes on.
I'd like to go there when there's no game on.
What's stopping you?
Security.
Right. Before I go to the Twitter ones, John, who I don't think is on parental duties yet, he had a question for us, which was, right, out of the four of you, who can best impersonate a Scottish Premiership manager? And he was going to do a poll to get the listeners to decide. So anybody good at impressions and which manager, or in fact, do the impression and see if we can tell who it is. That's probably the best way to judge the quality of it.
Horse.
Well, really good this year, and I'm just being so impressed with the boys, and especially the way they really struck it to that other mob across the city.
Right, so we've got Neil
I can't
Lennon.
think of anything to say that you can say, but it's like a lot of seagulls fighting over a chip piece.
They do that, do.
That's Robbie Nielsen.
That's Robbie Nielsen. Kaiser.
Since I've come out the jail, you know, I've worked really hard and you know, a day free for $100. So if you want to see me after the game, I'll sort you out. No tick though, boys.
Tick. You've got.
That's me out.
We could have done a Stephen Preston, but he's not in the Premiership, and so I'm not going to dignify him with an impression. Right. So next.
Who else is on there? I can't even think of who's on there.
I can't think. So Stephen Glass, but he's got your typical Aberdonian accent.
Aye, no, he's
Mickey Mellon.
nah.
He's just a typical West Coast, isn't he? Like, excuse me.
Mickey Mellon's more. He's a wee bit more like that. No, he's a wee bit more over there.
Aye. So He's no Glas. I think if he's Glaswegian, he's that sort of side of things anyway. All right. Okay.
And then the other one you end up doing is, what's his name? Because you just end up sounding like Ian Paisley when you talk like him.
That's totally right.
And it sounds just pure intimidating, sort of.
pretty bang on.
Because that's your bed, you little bastards.
If we had,
You want some ice with that drink? No, I'm just leaving, Paul. I'm just leaving. I'm not wanting a drink. You're fine.
I've changed my mind. If we had Liam Fogarty on, we could have got.
What colour are those
Jack
shoes?
Crossland.
They
What the
look
hell?
green.
I don't care what's happening anymore. Right, William asked, what's your final with beers and your mates, or a ticket to be one of the 1,000 at Pittodrie, or not Pittodrie, at Hampden? So watching it with your mates or one of the 600 at Hampden? We'll change that question slightly. Did we just cover that? Brian, would you rather watch with your pals?
Aye, the 300 at Hampden.
The 300, fuck's sake. 300 tickets, what a farce. Every pals. Aye.
300 pounds.
Unless I get a ticket and then I'll fucking change my mind because I'm fickle. Right. Right, Liam said, if an identical twin brother had children with an identical twin sister, would they have identical children? So he clarified this, that he's no meaning like the twins are a brother and a sister. So it's two guys who are twins and one of them hooks up with a woman who is a twin with another woman. So
see, looking identical though, is that not just like that gene that gives like a generation doing a gammy eye in that? Is that not how it works? Like,
No, that's what I answered with. That's what I answered with. I answered to King Carlos II of Spain, the last Habsburg Spanish king. He was that screwed up with interbreeding that he couldn't even eat because his jaw was that knackered. His mum and his dad were uncle and niece.
it's like the royal family then.
Aye.
Well, honestly, it was like something in West Lothian. And
it's mental that he managed to find a heart supporter in Spain.
Like mum and your sister one's doing
what was the other one?
Wanker.
All 8 of his great grandparents came from the same parents or some bloody thing like that. So aye, there's your answer.
Right, but would they have identical children? That's all right. So here's, if you extend that, so if 2 male twins on one side, 2 female twins on the other side, they hook up, and both couples have kids. Do their couples look like? Joe, if they both had twins, would they look like quads?
Oh, fuck those.
Would they all look the same?
You know what? This is getting awfully close to Nazi stuff. This is getting
no, for the first time, Brian.
Reading stuff. And frankly, I'm not comfortable with it.
Even ask the questions.
No, for the first time.
I'm saying nothing.
It was like we had to tame down our manifesto question earlier on. If you'd asked us that at the start of the podcast, Brian, it would have been. Right, Alex said, if your 5-year-old daughter has the ability to continually do ghost jobbies, should you be impressed or concerned? She's done at least 6 this year, and mine only come around every 8 months or so. Asking for a friend, obviously. So if your daughter was continuing to do ghost jobbies, is that a pat on the back, or should you be worried?
Worried.
Would you believe them?
You're asking from a medical point of view.
Well, we are known for our pursuit of scientific facts on this podcast.
I'm not entirely sure I want to get drawn into a litigious situation here.
Well, we kind of figured, Brian, ages ago, we had the conversation about what happens if anybody try to get us to court. And I think we kind of landed on the square that satire or comedy or whatever, so nothing that we say here is fucking should be treated seriously in any way, shape or form. And we think that's more or less our get out of jail card for fucking anything that we say.
I think I as well as coming with my own theme tune, I come with about 800 disclaimers. Fucking untouchable.
I'm worried. I'm worried about how what you thought was going to be get you into trouble for answering that one, though.
Oh, I thought that was his bail conditions that he was saying.
I think it's quite impressive, by the way. I think all of us, if we had the choice, you would do those jobbies all the time.
Right, my wee boy can't go to the toilet without making a mess, and a stinking mess at that. And half the time, he leaves it like some sort of trophy for you to admire. Light on, toilet, aye, just wrecks it. No, that would be impressive. And you'd save a fortune toilet on that as well. Look at the economics there. You'd save a power of money.
I done an old man of Hoy last week, I think, which is that's rare, but it was there.
It would save any bobcat catting, wouldn't it?
Nah, it was a big brown periscope, like a proper Maduri shite.
Did you have to hop off it?
Was there clearance in the water?
There was clearance. Aye, you have to stand up to get off it.
Was John Knox climbing, didn't
it? All right, well, I was going to say moving on for the shit talk, but actually the next question comes from Leon, and he asked, why do dogs feel the need to roll in fox/cat shit, and are we missing out on something? Which I thought was the best part of the question. I was like, I don't know why they do it, but are we missing out on something? Should we all be doing it?
Well, the right answer.
Aye.
It's to conceal their own smells so as they can go hunting. It's a primal thing with them. So,
it's for wolves, isn't it?
Aye, so essentially it's so as they can go and hunt stuff down. So, by rights, what we should be doing is rolling in shite before you go to the clubbing on the Saturday night.
The dancing.
I probably came home with us, to be fair.
You could do like an ad. It could be like a like an eau de merde, you know, like that sort of thing. You could be a black and white advert. You could have the dog up on the edge of the cliff, with the wind blowing through its hair and through its clogs, and it'd just be a boy in the background with the sort of violin music in the background. Eau de merde, pour les chiens, something like that.
Imagine the Scottish version, meeting shite.
Goby smell.
Andrew Brown said, is fox shit... Oh, fucking hell, just carrying on for this. Is fox shit the dog equivalent of Paco Rabanne 1 million? You can just imagine Doug's shutting the stuff down the streets reeking of fox shit for the ladies.
I think I just answered that.
Yep. Right. Jim Gardner said, come at the end of a very successful season, Ross and Matthew have some huge decisions to make on the playing squad. Who goes and who stays? What are your thoughts?
Dre Wright out.
A football question. Dre Wright is going. By the way, know if he comes on and scores a winner on the cup final. If that
There's
happens,
no chance of me going on and scoring the winner.
Well, you say that, but I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but you'll not be in the squad. So literally there's more chance of Dre Wright doing it. And if he does, there's not a fucking soul's going to be hounding him out the club. Like, he will be legendary status again.
He'll be humble pie.
I'll still hound him.
just keeping you on your list with Keith Jackson,
Peter Sutcliffe, all of them. They're all on it.
Is it anybody you definitely be moving on?
I think Stephen Allen will probably go.
I think so as well.
I think Scott Allen as well, just because it's brutal because he's good, but just medically and things like that, you can't see him making a full comeback, can you? Which might sound brutal, but and then Cadden because he's broke his back, and then who else have you got on? Murphy and all because he's injury prone and all. Then that's it. The rest of them could stay.
So what we're finding here, guys, is you've got quite a low tolerance for folk getting injured.
No, why he's got a broken back?
He's got a fractured spine, which I think it sounds worse than it is from what I gather.
That's what I said. A broken back.
Well. Right, Liam said, is it true Aberdeen can't kick a jelly bean?
For fuck's sake.
Right, well, Alistair Taylor said, if Hibs didn't exist, what football team would you support and why?
Brazil.
Brazil. Why?
Just because.
Would you give yourself a Brazilian style name to kick about with? Rhino or Fred?
Ronaldo.
Dequinho.
Quintano.
Kunto.
Trento.
Kaiser, if you
Trento Firmino.
One of the
Kaiser,
advantages of being Brazilian is you can claim that you've scored a load more goals than you actually have.
if you're a particular Brazilian, aye.
Aye.
Kaiser, what about you? If you weren't a Hibby and they didn't exist, what would you?
I pride myself on not being a glory hunter, so it's got to be Edinburgh
Hearts.
City. Fuck saying Hearts. Fuck Hearts.
Ray?
Oh. See, you take this to its logical conclusion, right? I could turn around and say Celtic, right? Because they kind of tick the boxes with the colours and all the rest of it, right? But if Hibs didn't exist, Celtic wouldn't exist.
Correct.
So we also wouldn't have Dundee United. So I'm going
Or
to...
Aberdeen. Or Aberdeen.
Or Aberdeen, aye. Or Aberdeen. So, where do you go? Where do I go? You know what I'm going to say? Because I've got family there, and it's kind of, if I've got an English team at all, it would be Coventry City. There you go, that's boring.
Coventry, I'd go Dunfermline just because they're along the road. Support your local team, etc. So I'd go with the Pars. Dave Graham said, what's the best interruption you've ever had or seen in life?
Yeah, the what?
The best interruption.
The what?
So, Ray, you can answer first.
All right. I like that one.
What one then? You got your answer? Or were you just interrupted? There's a joke about it. Knock, knock. Hey, knock, knock, Ray.
Right, okay. Best interruption. Well, I can give you my worst interruption.
Right.
That was when I was at work in Brisbane in about 95. And somebody says, oh, here, Raymond, there's someone here to see you. I said, someone here to see me in fucking Brisbane at my work in 1995. And I turned round and it was the Department of Immigration and Ethnic Affairs to tell me to get the fuck out of the country.
A shower of bastards.
How good would that have been if that was the CSA?
I bet you were wishing you were in Glasgow at that point. You'd have been all right.
Aye, it certainly would have been better, aye.
Aye.
I got barred for a continent.
That's no bad going. Brian, what about you? What's the worst interruption you've had? Or the best one?
I actually cannot think, which is strange. I cannot think of. I did lose the. I had a 3. many moons ago, right? Back in my younger days when I was a little bit more handsome than I am now. I was I befriended a stripper who I had a few dalliances with, and I think it was my birthday, whatever, it would have been early 20s. Anyway, this particular woman had agreed a pact with one of her fellow strippers who was a pneumatic blonde, that if I'd even so much as said hello to them, they were going to take me home and I'd be participating in a threesome. I wasn't aware of this, obviously. It was a pact they'd made with themselves in the club. And I only found out this afterwards when the morning after the police gave me my mobile phone back after I had to hand it over when I was held in custody for the evening because I went for somebody and sparked a brawl in a club. I think that was the same night I stubbed a cigarette out on a bouncer's head. So I was obviously not in the best of moods. The following morning, when I was allowed to go home and I got my personal belongings back, and I was in an even worse mood when I went into my phone and checked my texts and realised that I'd chucked away the chance of the night of my life by trying to square goal somebody in a nightclub. So that was probably my own worst interruption.
Aye, that sucks. Kaiser, what about you?
Right, I'm got to date one of my mates because it's a fucking topper. So my mate, obviously, and his wife, they listen. So this is brilliant. So I'll not name names. But he was obviously playing online. I don't know what game he was playing, but he had his headset on, right? So he took his headset off, and him and his missus have obviously jumped into bed and did what you do in the bed. And during that, obviously the noises and stuff like that, they didn't realise that the online headset was still on and everybody on the stream could hear them. And my mate's wife got cramp midway through and was saying, "Oh my leg, oh my leg." And they didn't realise anyone was listening until the guys who were listening in to the broadcast had recorded it and played it back down the headset, and the both of them heard, "Oh my leg, coming back through the headset." So that's one of my mates. I think that's a topper.
I can't mind if I talk to
That's a train spotting Archie Gemmell moment, isn't it?
It is and a half. But rolling about injured instead of carrying on in school. Well, Brian, I might have talked about this occasion once before on the podcast when I worked for McDonald's, and she had mid-shift and a busload of Scandinavian women came in full kind of army fatigues and sort of took over the front counter at McDonald's, and they were kind of helping themselves to fries and kind of joking, serving folk and everything. All of them stunning. You know, you're kind of going, I don't care if this is a dream or if it's actually happening, but the whole shift got interrupted for about 20 minutes, and it was fucking awesome, if I'm honest with you. So that was my best interruption. I have no idea who they were, what they were, where they were from. They went away kind of quite quickly and never kind of heard or seen of them again. So if you are listening, I can tell you where I work now.
I can get you tickets for the final.
At convenient times to come round.
I can give you a quarter pounder with cheese.
Well, maybe just maybe understate the quarter pounder a wee bit. What be realistic here? The cheese bit's fine.
The 99p menu.
Mike said, if you had to go without one thing you love or give up Hibs, he says, Matty, your air fryer or Hibs? I'd need to say goodbye to the air fryer. Couldn't give up the Hibs. And somebody's, well, I can't who it was. I'll not out them for doing it. But there is a Matty's air fryer Twitter account now, which blew my mind. I got a message the day after it happened. The message said, I was a bit pissed last night. I might have set up a Twitter account. Fill your boots.
I have a suspicion one of them might not be too far from here.
No. Well, never that's on the recording. No.
One of the retorts that came back from it just had Kaiser written all over it. But that's obviously, isn't it then?
No.
I've only got one fake account.
Ewan asks, do we need a McGinn in the team to win the cup? And if so, have we recruited all the McGinn children for the future? It suggests we could be the first club to pre-sign a bairn before they've even been conceived. Free Viagra and oysters to the McGinn adults. So it would be a kind of happy coincidence, wouldn't it be, if we won the cup with different McGinns in the team? Would that kick off enough superstition in you? Do you feel that we should have a McGinn?
It would be fantastic, and if you, as you say, if you want superstition, if you're looking at that, it would be brilliant. But the question is veering down the eugenics route again, which is a bit worrying.
I was thinking that, aye. So anybody that's listening that plays for the Hibs youth team, if you want to just kind of change your second name to Deep Pole, you'll probably have a good chance of playing for Hibs in the near
Aye.
future.
Get arse implants as, as well.
Get a
Alice-
massive meatball for your head.
Alistair Taylor said, name 5 Australians that have played for Hibs. You get 5.
I get 4.
Who's your 4?
Well, they're no. See, they've got Australian. It's obviously Jackson Irvine, Boyle, Milligan, and Jamie McLaren.
Like Stuart Lovell as well. There's 5.
I don't know Stuart Lovell. When did Stuart Lovell play for Hibs?
He played 6-2 era.
No, I can't even mind him.
I met him once in the pub.
Did you? He's meant to be a right nice guy, isn't he? Or was he nice?
Yeah.
You met him?
I met him in it was Musselburgh Races, and I met him in the pub afterwards and spoke away to him for about 10 minutes. And it wasn't until he left that I realised it was Stuart Lovell and not Andy Walker.
I knew it'd been Andy Walker. He'd have been banned. Any others? Any other Australians that have played for Hibs?
Nah.
Nah.
Not off the top of my head, no.
All right. Yep. Okay. Right. Neil Renton, what story would you tell on Jack and Ori? So you're on hosting duties on Jack and Ori. What story are you telling?
I would like to tell the children about the time I shat myself at Queen Margaret Uni.
The boy with the brown trousers. Ray?
I don't know. I'll try and avoid the Keek stories. Although there's a Keek one. It's in Scots as well. It's like wee Mowgli and someone keeked in his head or something like that. I've seen that, read that. That was rather amusing. That'd be you could do like the Three Bears, but it'd be like, he's been eating my porridge. What, you horrible little bastard. You've been in here eating my porridge. Come here, you. It's all fucking cold, isn't it? You could sort of spice it up a bit, make it a wee bit interesting. What are you talking about? I've not been here, you fucking porridge.
Kaiser, what about you?
Oh, fuck no. Tell them the story about the cup final, eh? That's it.
Well, I'll go for Mein Kampf just to keep it with the fucking. She's actually brought up, hey, why no?
It's quite a long read.
I would say that we were read the fucking family friends, can't remember who it was. When you're in, like National Book Day with the schools, and they always tell the kids to kind of come in dressed as your favourite characters. And I was at work actually, I was sitting with my team, and that's what I said. I was like, fucking kids got sent home. Said they sent them in as Nazi stormtroopers because they'd been reading Mein Kampf. And it took a few folk like a couple of moments to realise that I was taking the piss. They like kind of look at me like, what?
Right, kids, remember and stretch your saluting arms when you go into school.
They went in like Harry Potter, like every other cunt. So,
you seen the video of the boy? I think it's in France. And it's the boy who's he's obviously said to his dad to get the grandson the present. You seen that? No, I know. Of course, the kid's opening up the present.
Yep.
The kid opens the present, opens up Mein Kampf, and he's standing over him going, what's that? What are you doing? And he said, it's Minecraft. I said Minecraft.
Right, Crimpers said only one choice. You go out with a lady that either has hairy legs or hairy armpits. Which one would you take out?
Armpits.
What, hairy armpits you're going about with?
Aye, or hairy legs.
Armpits can be concealed. But if you're walking down the road with a lassie and she's got really hairy legs, wouldn't it? It's nice.
I'd probably go with the armpits one as well, to be honest.
But I don't know, I'm saying legs. Like every lassie wears leggings, even the ones that shouldn't. They all wear leggings now, don't they? So Nah,
It's not really hairy armpits. You could snuggle right in. You could sort of cozy yourself right in there, couldn't you?
I'm going legs. I'll be controversial.
Brian.
Both.
Where about on the legs, though?
Eh? What did you say? Where about on the legs?
How far up the legs are we talking?
From the ankle to thigh.
Yeah, full Yeti.
Aye. That's it. Stephen Presley. I think Stephen
It could
Presley.
be one of these specialist videos.
Chewbacca's mom.
Hibs Allison says, ask who wouldn't want Daz to give them a good seeing to? Me. I like Darren McGregor and everything. I don't want to shag him or get shagged from him. I'm assuming that's the consensus across the table here, or do we have any different opinions?
I think you need to check with Brian first, and then
Everyone has their price.
Andrew McBee, ticket distribution ideas. Winner takes a ticket. Beat McGregor in a fight, beat Boyle in a foot race, or be taller than Macy. Right. Brian, you can't be that far off Macy. What height are you?
No, I'm 6'4".
Fucking hell, right. So you're not getting a... Is anybody faster than Boyle? I'm definitely not. Like, even in my young and fit days, I wasn't faster than Boyle. And
Depends what's at the end of the line.
Would anybody fancy their chances of beating McGregor in a fight, or are we just kind of consigning ourselves to the fact that we're not getting a ticket under these rules?
I'm going to change it. Could you not change it to being Alan McGregor, and then you would win the fight because he only fights with his wife?
I mean, what we were saying, we could keep it on the good side.
You could put a wig on, though, Kaiser. You could put a dress and a wig on, and you could
sorry,
take
allegedly.
the part.
Jamie asked, in the context of having a laugh at someone's expense, why is it spelt wind up as in WIND and not wind up as in WYND? I didn't get this one. I reckon what was missing with
because it's pronounced like wind. If you pronounce wind, it's spelt wind rather than wind.
Right.
But then if you're winding down, your WI.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Right, I'm just going to move on to that one.
Like, there's a wind up. It's like one of the wee chimpanzees with the tambourines in it. You wind it up and it goes raj. So
drinking Alan McGregor again.
That's what Matty does to me before each podcast.
Paul Mackay, 300. Is it worth the debate? Players' families first. I think we said aye to that. Good time come to those who wait. Said, do you think when we win the cup, if we win the cup, Nisbet can be changed to Sir Nisbet? And fuck right, I'm going to apologise because people told me how to do this, including John, I think, how to get pictures on Zoom. The share screen. Oh, my fucking phone disappeared again. Look at that, amazing.
It's just going on your green screen.
Aye, so there's a street sign here, a road sign. Edinburgh straight on, Ankrum to the left on the B6 400, and Nisbet to the right, the B6 400, going the other way. So, would Nisbet become Sir Nisbet if we win the cup?
He scores the winner. Aye, can.
Yep. Okay, yeah, we'll take that. People of Nisbet, get ready to change your name. Also, from good times come to those who wait. Again, very presumptuous. When Hibs are winning the cup, what do you think the Jambos will be doing, and why? Why do you think they will be cuddling their 1-5 comfort blankets?
Couldn't give a fuck.
That's the correct answer.
Yep.
Aye.
I would imagine clutching a picture of one of their sisters having a sad wank.
There's a federal kickback.
With the hairy armpits and the hairy leg.
And the guy and I and the Spanish relative and
Aye. Just the next successor to the Spanish throne. Off the Habsburg Empire.
Which 90s TV star would you like to help with releasing the new Hibs tops? Denise Van Outen or Kelly Brook?
Oh man, Kelly Brook. Oh,
aye, that should like that's you can't see past Kelly Brook surely.
Well, no,
Even-
if it's no just standing profile, we can't.
No.
Even the mere mention of her name just makes me unwell.
Do you know mean more unwell?
Just,
You've
I
got a bit of a sweat on there, Brian.
I would soup the shite through her fishnets.
Aye, anybody on Team Denise on that one? Or are we all Team Kelly?
Team Kelly.
Aye. It's not the done thing nowadays, though, is it? Like for teams, I can't remember the last team to do it. St Mirren, maybe they brought a range of strips that they had kind of models. wearing.
What was it the Atomic Kittens done? See the Atomic Kittens with the Hibs hearts and
Aye, Scotland.
Mind they had the fit with Scotland top. What was that about? Was that just them trying to sell tickets for a guest because nobody would fucking buy them?
I would imagine that's what it was. I mean, you're aye, that's not what you're wanting to sell your
The
strips.
last ones I can remember doing it, and it was quite recently, was Air United. And Air United took the models and painted the kit onto them.
Oh, yes.
Ah, yes, that's what I was
They
thinking.
got pelters for it.
Aye,
That was a challenging wank.
because we're on enlightened times now, and that kind of thing's not acceptable anymore.
No.
The pictures do apparently exist still online. If anybody was looking for them, I think you can still find them, but we would say don't go looking for them. Andrew McBee, who'd win in a fight, Darren McGregor or a giraffe?
McGregor.
Yeah, definitely. And the last question comes from Tom Fairney. It's one from my dad, who said, "What football crime would you own up to?" What football crime would you own up to?
Stealing poppy tins.
Tay punting the ball the whole time I played juniors instead of properly shooting because I didn't know how.
Aye, sometimes not being bothered that I was offside.
Tax evasion.
Eh?
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion. Right, on that note, that's the end of the questions for the night, guys. Thanks everybody for sending them in. We're going to be back on, I can't even count what day we're. What day is this? Thursday. Back on Saturday after the Celtic game with Quick Bang. Then on Monday.
Can I just say before you go, see this game, Celtic game, couldn't give a shit about it. Put out 11 youth team players. I didn't care. Just we've got enough time. The boys can rest. They're not going to lose any of the sharpness. Just keep them all up and caught and goal.
Would you put Bobby and Lamal in goals though? That's got to be the question.
What was that, Kaiser? You broke up, mate.
Yes, should never be the answer. I said, would you put Bobby's Lamal in goals?
Prawn cracker hands.
He'd pick up a pass back against Celtic at the weekend, or no, the weekend last night. Was that just last night? When did they get handoff this Celtic? That was last night, wasn't it?
Aye.
Last night, aye.
And he picked up a pass back, and then Celtic scored for the free kick.
He's comedy gold, isn't he?
It's amazing.
You know you're bad when Morton didn't want you.
There was who else? Liverpool? No, who was it? Played Chelsea, Arsenal. I think if you saw the goal that Arsenal scored, that the boy's going to pass it back to the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper's away at the side of his goals, and he's just fired it straight in the middle, and the keeper actually saves it, and then Arsenal scored for the rebound. But there should have been a free kick. I think if they hadn't scored, they would have gotten a free kick for a pass back and possibly a red card for denying a clear goal scoring opportunity. And all your rules in that. Anyway, I agree. Doesn't really matter what happens on Saturday against Celtic, but we will be here for Quick Bang after it. Monday we will have episode 98 of Longbangers. Brian, I think on Thursday we're going to do. This is an early talks with the Down the Slope guys. A kind of combined Shortbangers Cup final preview with Down the Slope as our episode 99, which should hopefully mean we have a very, very special episode 100 on Monday the 24th.
It's like you meant it.
Almost like we've been planning for this for since the introduction of the fucking podcast. Anyway, right, that's about as long as an exit speech as I'd like to do. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Dry County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.